Hey gamers, Hater115 here. Welcome to the first episode of Star Citizen Archive. This show will serve as record keeping of maps and assets that have essentially been scrapped. Sure, you may see bits and pieces in the future, but as a whole, none of what you see here will likely ever crawl its way back into the game. Personally, I think it's a shame. Months, even years worth of work are just going down the gutter. Sure, it's all in the name of progress. Even the map we're showing today is drastically different than the current art style, making it null and void. But to leave these forever on the cutting room floor is quite sad. Today's episode will be a complete tour of the team elimination map Gold Horizon, developed by Illfonic to contain Star Citizen's FPS mode, similar to Arena Commander. However, in August of 2015, it was confirmed by Cloud Imperium that Illfonic's time on the project was at an end, and they wanted to bring their asset creation teams further in-house. While Illfonic's work represents far more than this map, Gold Horizon, otherwise known as Ruin Station, is far and ahead the most complete. This map is one of 3 known versions of Gold Horizon that are available, this being from May of 2015's so-called Lando leak. The other 2 are from a dev build from November of 2017, and a PTU build of 1.3 with out of date. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into our little tour. Gold Horizon was first unveiled in November of 2014 at PAX to demonstrate Star Marine, the upcoming game mode that would be releasing as a vertical slice of Star Citizen's potential FPS gameplay. Initially demonstrated as a 4v4 map, this map will soon, in this video, be demonstrated to be much larger than need be for a simple 4v4 match. The players would be competing for control over Ruin Station, which has recently been taken over by a group of pirates. Now, this map is not the exact same one as the PAX demo, with key differences. For instance, this hangar has been made inaccessible to the main area, likely abandoning the original intro in which the Marine players were flown in by this old version of Redeemer. All doors and entrances have been removed, save for a singular door located to the left of the big old ship in the middle. However, there's no hallway or any sort of playable area behind that door. The Redeemer itself has also been changed versus the PAX demo, with its interior removed, save for the same cockpit as the one shown in the original demo in the cinematic. In every one of the 3 quote-unquote publicly available versions, this area is the same, by which I mean basically cut out in favor of having all players start from within the station itself, however keeping the hangar itself visible from a place we'll see in just a few moments. This room here is Hangar Control, the only place you're able to sneak a peek at the Redeemer from within the map, and our first stop in our actual map tour. This little section features computers that you can actually see are within Levski, well, used to be within Levski, and one of many Easter eggs Illfonic left invisible on this computer right here. Illfonic had actually left a number of Easter eggs on many of the computers, showing team names and whatnot, but this is the only one we're gonna have a bit of a focus on. Moving on, we're going to be heading towards the main battle area of this map. You may notice we'll be going through a lot of doors. This is due to the fact that we were unable to actually spawn a character to activate any of them. Speaking of little bugs and glitches like that, we will be encountering quite a few of them through our little tour. That's just something that comes with the territory, and should honestly be something y'all should be used to for any Star Citizen related thing. Such errors include bland visual bugs and unstable frames, so my apologies for that. Getting back into the map itself, the area we've just entered is the main battle area, which is what I think is the best example for demonstrating why this map is far too large for a simple 4x4, as I mentioned earlier. Especially when the gravity goes down, this map feels like it can handle something closer to a 15x15. But I'm not a map designer myself, so what do I know? This middle section is also the most varying section of the entire collection of alternate maps, changing drastically on a version-by-version basis. In one of the versions of the map we'll demonstrate here, it's replaced by an additional set of central rooms that replace the entire middle section. The version shown here was the previously mentioned 1.3 PTU version of years past, captured by a player who had managed to load into it following its inclusion. Very, very different, am I right? It's here where all rooms are connected, but not their only connection, as all rooms are connected to each other through a series of hallways and vents. The map features 3 levels, but only 2 of them have dedicated rooms attached, while the top area, which we'll have a look towards the end, is noticeably bare. Our foray into the side rooms will begin here, on the bottom deck. The hallway we're about to enter is the only way into these side rooms from the bottom deck, which makes it an excellent place to begin our journey. Down here lies 2 rooms, but truly only one of them is accessible. We will be beginning with the inaccessible room. A simple crew quarters, Blocked off due to the broken door we've just entered, this room lacks a lot of details further rooms retain, but nonetheless, the room is full of detail, some not even visible to the players outside. Within is also a large collection of lockers where presumably the residents of the station would store their items. Even in an inaccessible area like this, it's full to the brim of prop items, a Star Citizen staple. Moving on from the crew quarters, we're going to be looking at a split path. The left would have taken us to a stairway onto the next floor, but instead we'll be heading right into the medical bay. This medical bay contains a central operating chair and loads of additional patient seats. It also contains a large amount of monitors, speaking of which, it's important to mention that Illfonic had set up a lot of destructible objects, including these monitors. Almost every monitor that isn't already broken on the station can be busted. Lights can be shot out, chairs can be thrown over, and barrels can be pushed. A lot of the station is set up with these destructibles, which really have disappeared from more recent builds of Star Citizen. Leaving the med bay, we'll be heading to the next floor, which contains quite a few rooms. The first room we'll be heading towards is the security office, which is signposted to the left of the hall. Interestingly, this signposting was something they kept changing up in nearly every version, with them going from the text you just seen to a more icon-based approach as shown here in 1.3. The security room is yet another one of the places on the station that is full to the brim of monitors. This place also serves as one of the most consistent rooms between versions, with alternates having a very similar layout and prop dispersion. Heading outside, we head upstairs onto the final deck with accessible rooms. We'll initially be heading leftwards towards the mess hall. The mess is your typical affair, standard workplace eatery strewn about with tables and chairs. Though I don't envy anyone who needs to squeeze between the beams in order to grab a seat, seems a little tight. Leaving the cafe, we'll be entering a in-between room. It lacks signposting calling it anything official, but appears to be decorated like a form of recreational hall. Within lies something we'll return to in just a moment. Heading down these stairs is the hallway we were in earlier. We're just returning here to establish what was up these stairs we passed earlier heading into security. Heading back up, we'll be re-entering the rec room in order to access one of 4 ventilation shafts accessible to players throughout the map. We will be entering all 4 eventually. These shafts, while seemingly sealed, are able to be unhinged by players in order to create rotate holes throughout the map. Leaving the vent, we'll be making our way towards what I believe is the most visually spectacular area of the entire station, the gravity control room. Entering this area, we can see that the layout of this room is rather different to most, this being more a hall than any sort of room. This room is full of 2 monitoring stations, a backdrop behind the gravity sphere will access outside the player's view, and of course, the sphere itself. This sphere is able to be controlled by either side and disabled, causing gravity to switch off in the entire map to enter a zero gravity phase. This feature was demonstrated in PAX demo of years past, and was a staple in designing this map, one of the primary reasons a lot of large unhinged objects exist throughout the station. Leaving the area, we'll be heading towards another unmarked room. To get there, we'll need to head back through the Hangar Control area we began at. This room is the final true external room of the entire station, being a small bar for the people of the station to take a breather. While the liquor cabinet is quite empty, there needn't be a worry. The entire room is strewn about with the entire collection of alcohol. Really goes to show that CIG had a focus on bars and their tenders since the very beginning. Leaving the bar, we'll be heading towards the second of the 2 non-top floor vents that players can access. This will lead us back into the main arena to take a look at the final area of the map, the top floor. While the top floor lacks any external rooms, it contains 3 enclosed areas and catwalks up the wazoo. 2 of these areas appear to be some sort of comm/monitor area, while the bit we're entering here appears to be some sort of caged-off server room. Leaving the cage room, we'll be looking at the 2 vents on these 2 opposite walls. Our initial vent is the longest of the 2, allowing players to access the mess hall through 2 vents, and the hallway on the far side of it through a single vent. The secondary vent is much smaller, allowing access to a lone hall on the opposite side of the map. Leaving the ventilation system, we'll be heading towards the last room, the comms area opposite to the one we visited initially. Both these comm rooms are mirrored with each other, having 0 actual differences between the 2. And with that ends our tour of Gold Horizon, also known as the initial version of Ruin Station. As you can clearly see, a lot of this map is extremely visually polished, making it quite a shame you'll never see this map again. Hopefully CIG allows the public to peek at these scrap ideas and versions of their projects down the line. Thousands of hours of work is scrapped every now and then. It'd be interesting to take a peek at what we're missing. The Great Squadron 42 reset of 2016 ring a bell? To end our little visual guide through the map, we'll be taking a look at the beast from the outside, with entity boxes turned on, to give y'all an idea of its layout from the outside. It is a bit buggy though, this map being from when CIG knew how to use culling. Hopefully y'all enjoyed what is the very beginning of SC Archive. I know it's a bit rough around the edges, especially with all the clipping. I'm really trying to get a hang of Star Citizen's secret track cam feature, but I hope it's a solid foundation of what we want to do with the series. Next episode of Archive will be on a ship y'all have been waiting for a while, so don't go anywhere. See y'all on the flip. As is usual, I'd like to thank all of our patrons, especially our Leaky Pipe producers, such as Eric Schulten, One For All, Golf Mike, Bahomet, Manmeat, Snarky.live, Faydog74, Anktum, Archie, Dirk Mervis, Cap Despawn, Josh Hallman, Yannick Cumley, Boobbot, Regular Tim, Sorston, and Professor Mango. Thanks for watching.